Both Gemini and Claude 3 claim they can beat ChatGPT in AI vision. But is that true? Well, you might just want to cancel your ChatGPT subscription after this video. Let's get started. So let's start with the first image. This one here, not the highest quality. I'm not even sure who this is from. Congrats on the humor. So I'm guessing you're not in the mood. So let's see if ChatGPT understands humor or GPT-4 understands humor. So I'm gonna say, why is this funny? Let's get started. And as it seems, GPT-4 doesn't get the joke. So it says, this image depicts a boy laying in bed next to his friend who is immersed in a book, oblivious to the fact that the boy is completely wrapped in bandages and connected to medical equipment. The humor lies in the understatement of the situation as the friend casually remarks about the boy's mood instead of expressing concern for his obvious injuries. So I guess GPT didn't get the joke and it didn't even fully understand the image. So that's a clear fail in my eyes. Let's go over to the next pair of eyes, the ones from Anthropic's Claude 3 Opus. Alright, so Opus's response is significantly better. The humor in this cartoon comes from the incongruity between the man's statement that he is guessing you're not in the mood, while the woman is clearly communicating her disinterest and annoyance through her body language and facial expression as she lies in bed with her arms crossed. The man seems oblivious to her obvious signals that she does not want to engage with him intimately at the moment. His attempt to guess her mood comes across as clueless and lacking awareness, creating an awkward and humorous situation. The cartoonist is poking fun at relationship dynamics where one partner fails to pick up on clear nonverbal cues from the other about their emotional states or desires. The exaggerated artwork with the woman's extremely closed-off posture amplifies the comedic effect of the man's inability to read the situation accurately. I would say this is exactly what it's about. Maybe it didn't fully understand that it's like all of the spikes and everything, but I think it's already a great answer to the question. So let's see how Google does. And Google fails miserably. Holy smokes. So your request has been blocked by Gemini due to safety concerns. The identified safety issues are as follows. Category, harm category, sexually explicit, probability high. Category, harm category, hate speech, probability negligible. Category, harm category, harassment, negligible. And category, harm category, dangerous content, negligible. So yeah, I'd say this is a clear fail. So let's try again. Maybe it just didn't get the joke. Yeah, it just doesn't get it. This time the probability is medium. I think maybe that changes. So let's try again. Maybe it will be low and it runs through. Nope. No, this time it was high again. So it really doesn't get the joke. And that's really something. Imagine you're using this tool and you're fully trusting it, and then it really reduces the things that it enables you to see, because that's what this is. This is vision, right? So I would say this is an absolute fail. Let's go over to the second image. All right, there we are. What do you see in the image? So I'm going to start with this question and then I'm going to come up with a follow-up question. So the second image is the bridge here in Cologne going past the Rhine or over the Rhine, and this is the Colognian Dome, Kölner Dom. Colognians are very proud about this symbol of their city. So let's see what it sees. So let's see what ChatGPT or GPT-4 Turbo sees. This image shows Cologne Cathedral, Kölner Dom in the background and the bridge on the left spanning the Rhine River. On the left, I'm not sure whether that's the left, it's both sides basically, right? So it goes towards both directions. And I took this image from Google Maps, so that's why it's a little weird here with this cutoff here. You can see there's a little mix up here, but overall it understood where it is. So let's see what it says. How would I get to the dome or to the cathedral? Let's see if it's smart enough to recommend to go over the bridge. Just a quick check. I would highly assume that it is smart enough, but let's see. So to get to the Cologne Cathedral from the point of view in the image, you would need to walk along the riverbank toward the bridge, cross the bridge to the other side of the Rhine River and continue walking towards the cathedral. Once you are on the opposite bank, the cathedral is easily recognizable by its large twin spires, so it should be relatively straightforward to navigate towards it once you are on the correct side of the river. Alright, so now let's check out how the others do. Let's start with Claude Opus. For some reason, Anthropic doesn't want to reply to me at all with this image. So let's go over to Gemini and see how it fares. So let's give Google a chance. What do you see in this image. Okay, so Google didn't recognize that it's the Colonian Dome or the Colonian Cathedral. The image shows a large river with a bridge spanning on the far side of the river. There is a large cathedral with 2 prominent spires. There are boats on the river and buildings on the shorelines. The sky is blue with some clouds. So let's see if it can find out which cathedral it is. Can you tell me which cathedral it might be? And after asking it, it actually says is most likely the Colonian Cathedral. So that's great. So then I ask again, how do I get to the cathedral? And it gives me a very generic answer. Since I don't have access to real-time information like your location, current date, I can offer several general options. So it goes over public transport, car, walking, and so forth, really going into depth. Let's see if I prompt it very specifically, if it understands what I want. And I'm just telling it basically, how would I get there considering my position I have in the image? So maybe it gets it. Cross the Hohenzollern Bridge. Oh, nice. Head towards the cathedral. That's really good. I like that. So I had to ask it again. It's not as good as the response that I got from GPT-4 Turbo, but I would still give it a clear pass. It understood that it's very likely the Colonian Cathedral, as well as it understands that the bridge is the Hohenzollern Bridge, so that I'm on the wrong side of the Hohenzollern Bridge basically. And it gives me an explanation as to how I would get there. So thank you very much. I would even give this a better score than what I've received from GPT-4 Turbo. However, with the speed or like with the instant understanding, so to speak, of GPT-4 Turbo, I would still give this point to GPT-4 Turbo. So let's go over to our third image. So for image number 3, I made a screenshot of the market summary of Nvidia Corp. As you can see, in the last 5 years, it went up by 2000%, basically 20xing your investment. Pretty substantial. I would have loved to have invested 5 years ago, but whatever. I think now is not the right time, but let's see what ChatGPT has to say, or GPT-4. And I'm saying interpret the image for me, and then selecting GPT-4 Turbo for that. So again, what can you see in the image? Let's get started. So it says Nvidia stock price rising from 39.87 to 835 euros. Is it actually euros? It is in fact euros. All right, so it did understand that. Let's ask for more. What else can you see? So it says you can see the stock price went up in the last 5 years, which corresponds to a big increase, the opening and so forth. Okay, so it got the numbers right. Now let's ask what would be your investment recommendations if you had to recommend something. So I'm using if you had and so forth because I'm very positive that it probably wouldn't give me investment advice, but let's see. All right, so as I expected, it says, as an AI language model, I cannot provide personalized investment recommendations. However, I can offer some general considerations for evaluating an investment in a company like Nvidia. So past performance, it says Nvidia stock has shown significant growth, but it's important to remember that past performance is not indicative of future results. And then it goes over some generic stuff like industry trends, financial health, product pipeline. It goes over like diversification, risk tolerance, and basically saying, hey, in the end, ask a professional. So yeah, that's good enough. So let's get back to Opus then and see what Opus has to say about the image. All right, so what can you see in the image? Let's see whether Opus wants to work this time. The image shows a market summary for Nvidia Corp stock. It displays the current stock price of 835 euros, which is up 795 over the past 5 years. So it really goes into a lot more depth. I like that. It basically gave me a bigger overview of everything at once, other than GPT-4 Turbo, which just gave me well, basically this first sentence. And then I had to ask so that it would give me the rest. So I would definitely say this was a better response. So now let's ask for investment recommendations once again and see how Opus responds to that. Okay, so again, it also says, yeah, I'm an AI model. I cannot provide personalized investment advice and so forth. So the default, however, it says research the company thoroughly. I think that's good advice. Consider how investment fits within your overall portfolio. Be cautious of investing. Diversify your investment across and so forth. So I would definitely say that both responses are good because I wouldn't want to have an AI model recommend me a very specific yes or no based on just a screenshot. Okay, so I would definitely give both of them a pass. So let's see how Google does. Making sure that I'm selecting Gemini 1.5 Pro here, and I'm getting an in-depth analysis. I really like how it broke it down. It says here overall trends, key figures, additional observations, possible reasons for growth. Wow, it really went above and beyond. So I'm really happy about that. It went over a few additional details. Obviously, I just have a few ETFs and a few tech stocks. So yeah, I really like that. So that's a really good response, I would say, even giving me possible reasons for growth. And then let's ask it the second question as well. So what would be your investment recommendations? And first of all, the response came very fast. Secondly, it's again, I like that it's structured. It's just so much easier on the eyes. So here are some factors to consider before making an investment decision regarding Nvidia. Positives: strong track record, future potential, financial strength, high valuation. The current stock price reflects significant future growth expectations, potentially limiting further upside. That's definitely something to consider. Market volatility and competition. So even some recommendations here: thorough research, risk tolerance, diversification, consult a financial advisor. So I would say the responses are very similar. However, personally, I would give Gemini 1.5 Pro my winner of this image. All right, even though it just doesn't get comedy, but it seems to understand investment, or at least reading numbers. Okay, so now I have a fourth image, and this is an image of my daughter being in front of a big dragon. And we were at the Cologne Zoo when we were there, Kölner Zoo, as you can see here. So there she is, the little blondie, and there's a big dragon. So the questions I have here is, first of all, what do you see? Secondly, how old do you think this girl is? And thirdly, where was the image taken? So let's get started. Okay, it says there's a child playing in front of a giant dragon statue. How old do you think the child is? So it says it is difficult to accurately determine the age of a child based on a single image, but based on the child's height and appearance, it is likely that the child is between 2 to 4 years old. Perfect. Yeah, she was around 2.5 years old when the image was taken. So that is a really good response, I would say. And the interesting thing is you really have to see the proportions. So she has this crouched position, as well as basically like the proportions are really off here with this big dragon here and her being there. So I really like how well it performed here. So, okay, so let's ask the last thing. Where could this image have been taken? So where was this image likely taken? All right, so the response is the image was likely taken in a park or outdoor public space where the giant dragon statue is displayed as part of an event or decoration, and the barrier suggests it might be an exhibition or attraction. Additionally, the sign on the barrier includes the text Kölner Zoo, which indicates that it could be taken in or near the Cologne Zoo in Germany. Very well done. It was exactly that. It was not in, but it was near the Cologne Zoo. And I'd say this is a double thumbs up. So let's see how Opus does. So Opus says the image shows a large colorful Chinese dragon sculpture at what appears to be a zoo or park. The dragon has a bright red, orange and green color scheme with scales and a gaping mouth. In front of the dragon sculpture are yellow lantern-shaped decorations. A young child in a pink coat is standing near a fence in the foreground, looking at the dragon display. The ground is covered in fallen leaves, indicating it may be autumn or winter. Oh, that's a nice touch. So it is really a lot more in-depth. Overall, the scene depicts a festive Chinese-themed display, likely for a holiday or cultural event set up outdoors at a public venue like a zoo. The vibrant colors of the dragon and lanterns contrast against the bare trees in the background. Very nice. So let's ask for the age of the kid. Based on the child's small size and the puffy pink coat they are wearing. I don't like that. The child appears to be a toddler or young preschooler, likely around 2 to 4 years. However, without seeing a child's face clearly, it's difficult to estimate their exact age. From the single photo alone, the child's height compared to the fence and general statue suggests they are quite young. So what is this day? Isn't it like, I'm not a big fan of that. So then let's see whether it finds out where this image was taken. And it says, based on the Chinese themed decorations including the large dragon sculpture and lantern ornaments, as well as the English written on the sign foreground. It says zoo ticket $19. This image was most likely taken at the zoo located in English-speaking country. Okay, so that's incorrect. There is no $19. There's no dollar sign at all. There's not even a euro sign here, I would say. But it says Kölner Zoo. So it did not recognize that. Very interesting. So Claude Opus, okay, but not great. Okay, so let's go over to Google. All right, so Google says the image shows a large colorful dragon lantern in a park. A small child is running towards the dragon. The dragon is red, yellow, and blue with a long tail and sharp claws. It is surrounded by a metal fence. There are trees and leaves on the ground in the background. So it didn't do any interpretation as the other ones where it said, yeah, it's probably in autumn or whatever. The colors, I think they're fine because there are so many different colors. It could say any color basically and it would probably be all right. Okay, so let's ask for the age of the child. So there we are. And I had to do multiple iterations. However, it says I'm unable to make assumptions about demographic information such as age. Okay, so for some reason it didn't want to give me a response. It could very well be that if I regenerate, it might give me a better response, but yeah, no, it doesn't want to give me any indications about age. Very interesting. So, final question, where is it? All right, there we are. Let's go. Where was this image likely taken? The image was likely taken at the Cologne Zoo in Germany. There is a sign that says Kölner Zoo, which is German for Cologne Zoo. Well done, Google. Okay, so I would say this was like, well, it was a 2 out of 3. So I would say for this particular image, GPT-4 Turbo has done the best. So who is the winner? What's your opinion? I would say there is no clear winner. I think they all had their strengths and weaknesses. I really dislike the fact that Google didn't understand the joke at all. It was like, no, I'm not even going to touch this image. And that is an absolute no-go for me. So that's why I would definitely say, even though it was better on some fronts, for example, recognizing the Cologne Dome as well as the zoo and everything, it really sucks that it doesn't understand a satire or comedy. And then overall, I would really give it to Opus because it understood the joke. Even though it didn't even read the Cologne dome image, it might very well also be because of some errors on my side, I don't know. But overall, I would give it to Opus 3 for the particular examples that we looked at because of the freedom. I like that it's rather free. I would say Google as well as GPT-4 were too limited in their freedom in terms of what they could say. So that's definitely a no, I would say. But what's your opinion? Okay, what is your opinion? Please let me know in the comments. I would be very interested in hearing what you think. And also if you have some cool ideas for more videos that I should do, please let me know. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching this video that far into the video. By the way, if you are interested in using the tool that I'm using, it's called Max AI. So I will add a link in the description down below. It might be an affiliate link over time. Currently, I'm not affiliated with them yet, but I love this tool and I've been using it for quite a while. It allows me to access all of the best models out there from Europe with just one subscription. I don't have to wait for it to be available in Germany. I can just go start and use it directly. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.